from the Ravens, and away we go from Maryland. Duvernay will bring it out. Got a block from Hill. He's got a lead blocker on the way, chased by the kicker. Getting a block from Harrison. All the way he goes. 103 yards. Smythe, the tight end, in motion. Fake to Mostert. Right up the middle they go. Waddle again into Baltimore territory.
On one with him.
Gesicki is in. Tagovailoa. He's got Gesicki with the nice catch downfield. One of the best tight ends receiving in the NFL. Smythe in motion. Tagovailoa unloads. Broken up. Deflected. Was it picked? Let's see. Was it grabbed on the ricochet? Williams? Yes, it was. On the deflected ball, Marcus Williams comes up with his second interception.
Well, Tua Tagovailoa tries to force it in to Tyreek Hill.
Good block by the tight end, likely. They go outside, caught by the evasive Bateman. Diving for the first down, brought down by Needham. In tailoring this offense and what he wants to do for Jackson. Look at the time. Jackson blocked by McCary. Downfield they go to rookie out of Minnesota is eligible. 3rd and 1. They send Davis in there. Drilled, stoned, shy. 37-yard line on the 9th play of this drive. Whoa, how about that play? They get 3 and they get the first down.
Mark Andrews in the formation.
John Jenkins back on that line. Had a big tackle earlier. 2nd down 6. Lamar Jackson, the tight end. Andrews inside the 15-yard line in front of Brandon Jones. Jackson 4 of 5. 2nd down 9. 14th play of the drive. Ricard a block. Here comes Jackson. Another block by Ricard. The man is all over the place. Ricard in motion. Jackson will take it himself and trying to knife his way in. Does. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Now you've got the other factor. Okay, what do we have time-wise on the clock, and where exactly do we spot it? There's a lot of other things that go into it, but is it conclusive enough and short to where you want to go back and mark it? And
after review, it was determined that the runner was stopped short of the line of game.
Oh, fumbled it. Oh! And that's why the review is so big, and the Dolphins come up with the play. Tagovailoa, Armstead a block. And he's got the receiver. Buckle up, hold on to your hats. Here comes Waddle. What a block downfield by Ingold. Woo! Wow, is he flying all the way to the 35. And Tyreek Hill flying. He'll get the ball. Looking for a block, and he gets it again. Ingold with another block. Look at Hill. With Mostert still in the backfield. It's a 1st and 10. Quick hitter. Look at this. Going inside. Down to the 10. Sherfield a block for Waddle, who knifes in for the touchdown. And basically a 13-point swing, waddling his way for 6 on a 6-yard strike from Tua. Tied at 7 now. Duvernay in motion with the shotgun to Jackson on 1st and 10. Oh, and he's got Bateman off to the races. Chased by Holland. Chased on the play by Howard. And there he goes. Touchdown. Wow. 75 yards. Bringing the blitz. Smythe missed the block, and that leads to the sack. And Justin Houston has done it again. Coming through, bringing him down. Gesicki in motion, 3rd and 18. They need the 45. Here they come again. Houston again. The spinning Tagovailoa. And the incompletion with a flag all over the place. Edmonds was the intended receiver. Likely in motion. Jackson outside Bateman. Stiff arming. Second down 5, and Davis is back there, and Ricard is on the move, and Moses with the block. Chased by Wilkins. Here he goes. Jackson, Davis with the block. Wilkins, what hustle. Flag thrown, 39. Jackson. Wow, what a catch. Andrews, touchdown, 26 yards. Touchdown was overturned. He had a knee, you can see. Jackson, good block by Davis. Andrews does get his touchdown, and the Ravens are up by 2 touchdowns on Miami. Outside he goes. Waddle's got it. He'll be close. Jumping on his back was Humphrey. Gesicki. And this is the quarterback taking it, and I think he has carved himself.
This game's had it all.
Yeah, he got it. He got it. Armstead the block. Going deep and intercepted by Williams. Was he in? Nope, he was out on the chalk. So Marcus Williams, who signs as a free agent and big money from New Orleans, got that left, and Trent called it, dragged that left foot in on the long pass to Waddle. He had an interception last week.
Well, you keep all the bodies close to the line of scrimmage so you can turn over and get that next play snapped relatively quickly.
Second down and 4. And wide open downfield. That's the catch in the first of his career by the rookie tight end, Likely. First and 10. It's Hill. Blocked by Likely. And a block by Bateman. And out of bounds he rumbled. 3 timeouts. And the 2 touchdown lead. Right on the screws, Andrews. And that big touch.
Giving Lamar Jackson plenty of time.
Second down and 10. Blocks Phillips. Caught, touchdown. It's Marcus DeMarcus Robinson. And Lamar Jackson has just thrown his 3rd touchdown pass today. He was a Big Ten track star and champion. First and 10. Tagovailoa. Mostert outside, room to roam. And there he goes, corkscrewing by midfield. Settled the block at the right tackle. And he finds his receiver at the 35-yard line, deep downfield. And Tyreek Hill. And 5 in the secondary for the Ravens. 3rd down and 10. Flag. Tagovailoa outside. That is caught and grabbed on the play by Waddle.
So it cut Waddle's route short as a big 3rd down here.
3rd and 13 and to the end zone. Gesicki, touchdown! What a catch! Woo, 14-yard snare. 6 defensive backs for the Finns, Likely in motion. And a block. Lamar moving up nicely, gets it off. And the ball caught by Andrews, who is grabbed on the play by Mostert back there. 3rd and 2 for Tagovailoa. Down the middle, caught for the first down. On this 82-degree day, 3rd down and 8 for Tagovailoa. They bring 4. And incomplete. Waddle covered on the play. Marcus Peters, one of the first time.
8 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage for the Dolphins.
3rd down 2. It's Jackson. Oh my gosh, here he goes. He'll sprint. He's being chased by Howard. Looking behind. You can kiss him goodbye. Touchdown. He is electrifying. .26 seconds to play in the quarter. Tagovailoa. Eichenberg the block and wide open. They got the leap and Waddle by midfield and down to the 42-yard line. Miami was just the opposite. They went 8-1 to finish off this season. 1st and 10. Mostert the block and 2 into the air. And look who he's got. Waddle again.
You know, there's a rhythm that you get into with your quarterback and how it goes. In the preseason, it's so difficult to get in any kind of rhythm.
2nd down and 6 and underneath Waddle, who got away on the first attempt. But Mostert, Waddle atop your screen. Tagovailoa. Here they come with Washington. There he goes. Oweh chasing. Touchdown, Craycraft. 2-yard throw. Tagovailoa with his 3rd touchdown pass today. Trent Green. No, not sorry. I'm sorry. No, I was me. Jackson 1st and 10. Ricard the block. Easily flicks it downfield. Caught by the tumbling Duvernay. The quarterback with the most 100 yards rushing in a career, breaking a tie with Michael Vick. 3rd and 2. He'll add to it here. Seiler. And the running back is Mike Davis. Jackson will take it himself with the Davis block, I think. He was stood up and stoned. He did not make it. Did not make it. Thrown for a loss of about a yard. 16 times. He's caught 9. 3rd and 10. Tua going deep. Oh, he's got Hill! He's got Hill! That is 6! And the Dolphins are back in business.
Here's that cover 0 look. No help in the middle. 4 guys lined up man-to-man.
They rush. Mouse picked off by Howard.
Didn't bring it in.
Safeties are deep here. 3rd and 12. Hill a block. Jackson on the move. Flag is thrown. Needs the 40. Look out. Downfield. Incomplete to Likely. But a flag went down back at the 20. Tagovailoa. Blocked by Armstead. Going. He's got him. He's got him. Tyreek Hill. And the Dolphins have come back. 60 yards. And 2 to Tyreek Hill. 4 touchdown passes, and here comes Jackson. On 1st and 10, the tight end Andrews. He swipes the linebacker Roberts aside, and it takes a gang to bring him down. Jackson has also run for 119, including a 79-yard touchdown run. With the 1st and 10, Ricard the block, and Jackson downfield and caught by Duvernay. Well, they're bringing everybody. Pressure in Jackson. Going deep. Looking for Andrews. That's incomplete. And no yellow on the field. Holding Stout. Snap by Moore for the lead. And he drills it. Flag thrown. They blitz. They bring 5. Tagovailoa. Oh, an acrobatic catch to the 45. Hill. Williams brings him down.
Tyreek Hill with an exceptional catch. Getting it into Baltimore territory.
Edmonds in the backfield. Armstead the block. Here comes Hill at the 40. He broke the tackle that time of Williams. He breaks another tackle. Then Clark from behind rides him down. Craycraft. Edmonds. Big hole. Sprinting free. There he goes. Inside the 10.
Now you call the timeout.
Hill, bottom of your screen. 2 into the end zone and incomplete, looking for Waddle. Tagovailoa. Blocked by Armstead. 2 into the end zone. Caught for the touchdown! Caught for the touchdown! Waddle! Miami has taken the lead.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens once again double-team Tyreek Hill.
5 you couldn't see there. Here they go. 3rd and 1. Lamar will uncork and pray. Deep, downfield, incomplete. No yellow. 0's on the clock. The Dolphins have pulled off the improbable and won down by a ton at the half by 3 touchdowns, and they come back to win.